my grandfather, Everett Johnson, was a very strong personality, not in an outgoing way, and just in his presence. A lot of my cousins and I have tattoos of elephants for him to honor him, because that was very much representative of his personality, very large and strong and wise, but quiet. So that's what I always grew up observing as a child. But he would have moments where he'd show his goofy side and come out of his shell and, have really sweet banter with my grandmother and things like that. My brother, Connor, is actually very similar to my grandfather in that way. And they also look very similar. A lot of people in our family say my brother is kind of the spitting image of my grandfather when he was younger. So that is a really sweet way for his presence to kind of still to be with us. But as I got older, he passed away right as I was graduating college. And in the few years before he passed, a lot of the conversations that I remember with him were centered around my interest in social justice, in the law, and politics. He was very tuned into those sorts of things and, watched a lot of news and things like that. And so a lot of our conversations centered around my interest in those things, which was really special. And those are a lot of the memories that I hold. My favorite story of my grandfather is when I was really young. We all would fish on the dock at their house up north, and I had a little pink Barbie fishing pole, very small fishing pole for a little girl, and I must have dropped it in the water, or a fish nibbled on it, and it got pulled into the water, and he dove into the water to save it for me. And I just always found that so special. It was a silly thing. It would probably cost maybe $10. We probably could have gotten another one, but that was also something I remember is he was a big swimmer and was a very strong athlete and swimmer, and would swim the course of the lake that they lived on, and found it important enough to dive and get my fishing pole. And then that fishing pole sat in one of the front porches of their house forever as kind of a little memento hung on the wall, and I always found that so special. I'd make sure to go check it out anytime we were up there.